All right, y'all, just got done watching Janibek versus Denzel Bentley out of the UK for their title bout for the WBO at 160. Janibek was defending his title for the first time that he picked up when Demetrius Andrade vacated, when he decided to move up to 168 for pursuit of bigger fights in that division, because all of the big fights have escaped him at 160, not because he was running from Janibek. But this isn't about Andrade, this is about Janibek. So Janibek is in his first title defense, heavily favored against Denzel Bentley. I picked Janibek to win the fight by majority decision on Champ Ross, so I won't be eating any crow. The fight ended up going the distance. Janibek won on the scorecards. Two of the scorecards, I think he won 116, 112. And then the other scorecard was like 118, 110 or something, just some ridiculous scorecard. Now, to me, I feel like the end result could have been a draw. Could have went either way. But if there's anything that Denzel Bentley can point to as to why he lost this fight, it will be the first 4 rounds, where he really was not throwing many punches and just was completely on the defensive and just pot shotting every once in a while, and the championship rounds. Although I feel like he won the 11th round, I definitely don't feel like he won the 12th round, and he got rocked in the 12th round, you know, pretty bad. But then he came back, and at the end of the fight, he was standing in the center ring, slugging it out, going toe-to-toe. Denzel Bentley in no way, shape, form, or fashion has anything to hang his head about. I know he came to the U.S. with intent of going home champion, but I definitely think his stock rose in defeat. And like I said, take away the passive first 4 rounds that he fought, you know, maybe this is a different outcome for him. But it could have been a different outcome in another way. You know, he said intentionally they were trying to gauge Janibek's power, kind of trying to get a feel for him, get comfortable in there before he started to turn it up. And, you know, this was a fight in which Janibek came in with a whole bunch of hype, being billed as this knockout artist. Although, you know, his knockout, I think he was like 12-0 with 8 knockouts is what he had when he came into the fight. This is a man who, you know, has, you know, he's on like a 5 or 6 fight knockout streak. So with that being the case, you know, they basically were trying to build him as this destructive puncher, and he is a good puncher. But and the boogeyman. I mean, these are their words. You know, they've been building him as this boogeyman over on ESPN. And I get it. They got to market the guy. He's 6 years in as a pro. He only has 13 fights. This was his 13th fight, if I'm not mistaken. So now he has 13 fights under his belt. But tonight was supposed to be a showcase fight for him. First title defense, and it was anything but. I mean, I think it brought eyes to the, you know, anybody that watched the fight, they were entertained. And it was probably better for us fans that it wasn't a one-sided affair. But as far as for Janibek and his team, Buddy McGirt was definitely frustrated in the corner. He definitely wasn't happy with what he was seeing from round 5 beyond. Janibek was getting caught with some really clean shots from Bentley at times. And it was some times in the fight where, you know, he was going back more than he was coming forward. And in those moments, Bentley was taking the play away from him. And Bentley was doing great work in there. So, you know, like I said, I'm not going to cry robbery. I don't like the 118, 110 card. I feel like it was more of a 115, 113 type fight that could have went either way. But like I said, definitely got to give Janibek the first 4 rounds, in my opinion, and then I got to give him the 12th. So those are 5 definitive rounds. In order for Bentley to win would mean that he had to win all of the close rounds. You know, all of the other rounds, the ones he won clean, and the close rounds. And that's not gonna happen when you're a foreign fighter fighting a champion. And you know what I'm saying, and you're fighting. He's based in the U.S. now, fighting with a U.S. based trainer. He's the marquee fighter. You're coming in from overseas as the challenger. You're not gonna get benefit of the doubt. You got to win rounds decisively. You can't give away rounds to start the fight. and you got to show up in the championship rounds, both of the championship rounds. You can't get hurt badly in the 12th and expect to win that round and then win the fight. But like I said, I'll go back, say what I said again. In that 12th round that Bentley got rocked, he definitely he did what he had to do to survive. He got himself together, and by the end of the round, I mean, he was standing toe-to-toe with Janibek, throwing hard shots, and you know what I'm saying, looked like he may have been on the cusp of dropping Janibek or hurting him. Very good fight, very good fight. Janibek said afterward that he wants to fight, you know, the other champions, wants a unification bout. We know the other champions are Triple G, who holds 2 of the belts, and then Jamal Charlo holds the other belt. Janibek's not going to call Triple G out by name out of respect, you know, being his elder countryman, or at least that's what's being said. And then at the same time, you got Jamal Charlo with the PBC, and he's coming off of an injury, having a fight that got canceled and so forth. They tried to make the Munguia fight between, which was a cross-promotional fight between a PBC fighter in Charlo and a PBC fighter in Jaime Munguia, who coincidentally is Janibek's mandatory, who may, after seeing this performance, may decide that he likes that Janibek fight more than he thought he did. But that fight couldn't get made between Charlo and Munguia because of disagreements between the promoters and networks. So I don't think we're going to see Janibek versus Jamal Charlo anytime soon. Not sure what's going to happen with Triple G situation, but it would definitely be, you know, is an opportunity that can be had. Now, and even with the Munguia situation, you know, Munguia, he's fighting on the zone. Janibek's fighting on ESPN. So that could even be an issue, getting that fight made, which is a sad situation to be in boxing. You know, this is the only sport where we got to talk about this stuff all the time. You know, always about the networks, promotions, the outfits, and the sides of the street, and a fighter, you know, not getting fights because he doesn't bring enough value to the table and things like that. You know, so, but that's the state of boxing. That's the state of boxing today. So, like I said, I look forward to seeing what's next for Janibek. Look forward to seeing what's next for Denzel Bentley. He definitely made a lot of fans tonight. He definitely got my attention. I didn't expect him to come in here and get smoked. Like I said, I picked him to lose by majority decision. I expected him to give Janibek a tough fight. But I'll be honest, I didn't expect him to be landing as cleanly as he was in the latter part of the fight or the second half of the fight. And he definitely was doing that with regularity. And there were points in the fight where he was very comfortable and he knew he was in the driver's seat. And there were points where Janibek would have lulls. Even if he did good work, he would have lull that followed it up. You know, he wasn't able to have a sustained attack. And a lot of you got to credit Bentley for that. You know, a lot of times when guys don't have a sustained attack, is because they're afraid of creating too much of an opening for the opposition. And most of the time, that's because of something they've already felt. So I definitely take my hat off to Bentley for coming over here and not just coming over here to be an opponent, coming over here to win. And he came up short. Janibek didn't have the type of performance he had, but it may be the type of performance he needed. I feel like part of the problem with the way the fight went down for Janibek was because he fell in love with his power. He fell in love with his highlight reel. And he came into the fight, even the first half, the first 4 rounds that he was winning, he was out there looking for one big shot. He was throwing one big shot at a time, trying to take Bentley out, because coming into the fight, he had said he knocked Bentley out inside of 2 rounds. And that's always, to me, that's always a mistake for a fighter to come into a fight, putting that type of pressure on himself to stop a guy within a certain amount of rounds, or even to get the stoppage at all. You go in there and you fight your fight, and if the stoppage comes, it comes. And but you can't put yourself in a situation where going into the fight, you feel the pressure of having to get a stoppage, having to extend this KO streak. I think Janibek going 12 rounds with Bentley will probably do him a lot more do a lot more for his progression than him getting a 2-round knockout. So I think all in all, it was a surprise, but it was a good surprise that needed to happen for both guys. I think Bentley, Bentley mentioned that he'd love a rematch. Not sure if that happens, but if Janibek is having a hard time getting fights, as they say, then maybe he'll go back to the Bentley fight. Give him a rematch. Maybe he wants to do it better. Wants to see if he can do it better next time. But that's all I got on it. D-Lo 404 Boxing. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. I'm out. Peace.